Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today's video we are going to be going over the Halloween maintenance. For those of you who don't know, Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love the season of fall, is my favorite aesthetic. I like the aesthetic of Halloween too, people dressing up, pumpkins, candy, celebratory, whatever you want to call it, spoopy month, if you will. But I'm really excited about this maintenance actually. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. So first thing on the list is the login bonus. So for the login bonus, we just get the standard 30 crystals. We get 1 unit LB stone, 1 blue apple that doubles quest drops for 1 quest, a rainbow potion that gives 200 plus EXP for 1 quest, 1 flux drop, some soul gems, and it looks like we get some of the new food that is probably going to be farmable in the Halloween event. I don't know what this food does, but it's new and it looks cool. So yeah, that's just the login bonus part. Next, we're gonna skip to the bottom of the maintenance list and go over the 2 new side stories that they're adding into the game. These are going to be permanently in the side story, and it is the first 2 parts of the Rayude Granza side story. So it features Charlotte's Walmart weapons and Valerie's Walmart weapons, and these are going to be completable in the side story forever, and their equipment attached to them are going to be also forever farmable. I'm pretty sure when these get released, you'll probably get to complete all of them for crystals, and then if you do complete them, I'm pretty sure they're going to give us 2 more lucky gems for completing those 2 parts of the side story. So yeah, pretty cool that we're getting some new side stories actually. We are also going to be obviously getting some shop packs that you can buy with real money in the shop. They're going to be Halloween themed equip packs, and they're just going to be like the standard, like I don't know if you guys remember the summer ones where it's like, you know, the first tier was $1 and it gave you, you know, 5 large potions and then 1 random summer equipment. It's going to be something like that. So it's going to be like probably like $1, $5, and then like $10 that you can buy in tiers. I don't know exactly the prices, but I'm assuming if they're going to follow the summer version, then it's going to be something like that. And then you'll be able to get, you know, X amount of potions from buying 1, and then also 1 random Halloween equip too. So those are going to be pretty cool. All right, on to the actual banners. So the first banner we're going to be talking about is the equipment banner. While they haven't posted the actual equipment banner yet, I'm going to assume that it's going to include all of these new Halloween themed equipment that are geared towards the 3 new Halloween Ascended units that are coming out. We don't know what they do yet. I'm sure I can find JP's version of all of them. I'll post them on the screen maybe, but at the same time, we don't know if they're going to be the exact same stats as JP. I'm assuming so, but you never know with global. They could like tweak them a tiny bit, but I'll flash them all on the screen during this whole section. And I'm going to tell you that this equipment banner is actually pretty goated. So a lot of people will argue like Halloween's not that goated, but it really is goated. Especially this time around, they are guaranteeing 1 5-star Halloween equip every time you do a, you know, 11 times multi-summon. So every time you do a 30 crystal summon on it to get 11 equips, you're guaranteed 1 5-star Halloween event every time. And I'm assuming it could be like summer where they just give you like a, where it's just like all Halloween equips, but at the same time I could see it being just like the standard equipment banner, and then like maybe you get a Halloween equip here or there. But it is goated because it has things like Lisa's Smart Skirt and Little Red Mira, which are 2 of the best end game equips in the entire game that you can obtain, and they are very, very highly sought after. It took me 4 years just to get my hands on Little Red Mira, and I still don't even personally have Lisa's Smart Skirt on my main account, so I'm definitely going to be trying to put a couple summons into this banner as well. So I think it's definitely worth a few summons. Just remember, Fate Summer is coming out in the middle of October, so don't go crazy. Don't go crazy. Save for the Fate Summer banner and units too. So last but certainly not least is going to be all three new Halloween versions of like Valerie, Forte, and Charlotte, I think they are, and it's going to be their Ascended versions, slash Halloween versions. I'm going to be going over all these units kits, and then at the end I'll give my thoughts on summoning and whatnot. So first one is going to be Halloween Valerie. She's a water human. She has a 5-star magical, 5-star magical, and 4-star magical as her 3 slots. Slots could be a little bit better, but she is a really good, water magic DPS through and through. So having 3 magic slots isn't the worst thing in the world. Plus magic equipment over time has just gotten a lot better, so it's not the end of the world. Her skill is on an 11-second cooldown, does 1700% water damage magical, and increases own arts by 30 if self is uninflicted by a status ailment. So if she's not afflicted by any status ailment, she increases her arts by 50 instead. So don't mistake this that she's going to get 80 arts on the skill. This just means if she's not inflicted by a status ailment, she gets 50 instead of 30. Her arts does 22,000% water damage magical, and then for 25 seconds increases own attack by 120%. That's a pretty good arts, not gonna lie. Her true arts does 60,000% water damage magical. For 45 seconds reduces enemies magic resistance by 70%, and it is stackable, and it doesn't say that there's a limit, so I'm assuming it's forever stackable. Pretty good true arts. Super Arts does 165,000% water damage magical, and for 20 seconds increases own damage by 200% and ignores 100% of the enemy's defense. Additionally, when used for the first time, resets the cooldown of own magic equips. So it doesn't give a limit on the magic equips, so I'm assuming if all of your magical equips are on cooldown when you use her Super Arts for the first time, that all of them will get reset, which is pretty good. If you have a lot of the magical equips that increases your arch gen by a burst amount. So if you have Rem's clothes that gives you 70 or 80 arts, and you use her super arts, then that's just another immediate 70 or 80 arts, and you could have multiple of those. Her super arts hits like a motherfucking truck. It gives 200% damage and ignores 100% of the enemy's defense, so that's a crazy buff. And which is why, I'm saying, she's going to be an insane water magic damage dealer. And not to mention, Eminence in the Shadow just got announced and beta got announced. I feel like if you want to get beta in the future, I would try to go for Halloween Valerie. So I'm just saying, we're going to get some pretty good combos going on in the future for water. Her passives increase all allies' damage resistance with respect to how high own percent of HP is, max 30%, does not stack with the abilities the same name. So the higher her HP is, the higher damage res she gives all allies, which is pretty cool. Increases own damage by 1% of own attack divided by 100%. So obviously an attack crest on her is probably going to be really, really good, and anything that boosts attack is going to be really good. And then increases own paralysis resistance by 80%. That one's just kind of standard. Next is Halloween Forte, probably one of my favorite units out of the 3. Probably is my favorite unit out of the 3. She is a dark human. She has a 5-star support slot, 5-star defense slot, and then a 4-star heal slot that can be turned into a support slot. Valerie's magic slot can be turned into a 4-star defense slot. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier or not, but anyways, onto her kit. So Forte's skill is on a 13-second cooldown, does 100% dark damage magical. For 7 seconds, increases own arts by 6 a second. Pretty good self-sustaining arch gen there, so skill CT is probably going to be something you want on her if you just want her to consistently be up or active. Her arts does 16,000% dark damage magical. For 20 seconds, increases all allies attack and equips CT speed, so cooldown speed, by 40%. Her True Arts does 43,000% dark damage magical, and for 18 seconds increases all allies' arts by 4 seconds and reduces enemies' dark resistance by 100%. That's actually a pretty solid True Arts. I wish the arts were like 5 or maybe 6 arts, maybe 5. I wish the arts was just 5 a second instead of 4, but can't really complain too much. Her super art does 120,000% dark damage magical. For 15 seconds, increases all dark allies' damage and break power by 100%. So in the end, she's just a dark damage and break damage nuker support. In the end, like, this is just what her kit screams to me. In practice, she might be used for a lot of other stuff, but I think she's like a really solid overall, like, dark, you know, DPS support slash generalized support. I mean, she's mainly towards dark, mono dark, but, you know, you probably could find some use to her outside of, you know, if you're doing like break nuke comps or something like that. Her passives increase all allies' damage by 30 times the number of unique races in the party, maximum 120%. So if you have 4 different races in the party, including Halloween Forte, you will get up to 120 increased damage permanently. This is really interesting to me because they are mainly focused on just 3 main races, you know, like human, demon, and god units. Like, we barely have any good solid units outside of those 3 races, so it's just interesting how they are giving the unique race there on the passive. So the other passives are just standard, increases own curse res by 60% and then increases own seal res by 60%. Overall, Halloween Forte is probably going to be the one that I want to go for. I probably am going to shoot for Valerie as well, but I think I want to aim towards Forte because Forte is one of my favorite characters in the game too, so I just kind of have a bias towards her. All right, lastly is Halloween Charlotte. She is a fire human. She has a 5-star physical, 5-star physical, and a 4-star defense that can be changed into a 4-star heal. Her skill has a 10-second cooldown, does 2200% fire damage physical, increases own arts by 30. If this skill crits, increases own arts by 60 instead, so it just doubles the amount of arts that she gets on her skill if you crit with it. Her arts does 23,000% fire damage physical. For 35 seconds, increases own crit damage by 150%. True Arts does 70,000% fire damage physical. Does 100% chance to inflict bleed, so she's a bleed stacker, which is pretty cool. We don't have a lot of those, and I was looking for more of them in the game. If the enemy is already bleeding, increases the stack of bleed by 1 up to 3. Her super arts does 185,000% fire damage physical. For 20 seconds, reduce enemies' physical res by 100%. For each stack of bleed an enemy has for 20 seconds, reduces enemies' physical res by an additional 50. So if you have a total of 3 stacks on an enemy and use her super arts, it will increase the, you know, or it'll reduce the physical res by 250% instead of 100, which is pretty cool. Her passives increase own crit rate by 100% against enemies with 1 or more stacks of bleed, so she just has natural crit, which is really, really nice. And then increases own accuracy by 100% against enemies with 3 stacks of bleed. That one I wish it was, you know, 1 stack of bleed or more, same with her crit passive, because we don't got a lot of good accuracy like units in the game. You know, we have like a few of them that are really good, but we don't have like a ton. So I just wish it wasn't so restrictive to the 3 stacks of bleed, because most of the time, by the time you get 3 stacks of bleed, like, the quest is going to be over most of the time. And then her last passive is increases own freeze res by 80%. So overall, pretty solid and unique unit. I have no qualms with her. So in terms of should you summon or slash like how deep you should be going on this Halloween banner, I think everyone, no matter who you are, should do their one and done. So like the free purple multi that they give, I think everyone should do at least that. And then if you want to go in deeper for a specific one of the 3, so like in my case, if I wanted to go deeper on Forte and try to get Forte specifically, they did just announce earlier today, or like last night, or maybe overnight, that all 3 of them are getting their own ALK deluxe banners. So they're all going to have their own separate deluxe banners that you can, choose which one you want to go for, and then, spend more, free farmable materials on trying to get them rather than going deep on crystals, because I personally don't think that this banner is worth more than the first, free purple multi-summon. I just wouldn't go deeper, especially with Fate around the corner, like the summer units. The ALK banner is kind of not good. I will say that, though. I will say the deluxe ALK banner is really, really not good. Has like almost no one that like anyone would ever need, new player or veteran player, but it would be just if you wanted to go for a specific unit, you just do their specific ALK banner. So that's my take on that. And that's it. I just wanted to say thank you for anyone who made it this far into the video. I appreciate you. And for those of you who don't know too, the same day that I'm going to be recording and posting this video, later on that day, towards probably around like 4 or 5 p.m. EST-ish. Don't know if that's going to be the actual time yet. It could be like a tiny bit later. I'm going to be doing the very first live stream where we stream scary games. I don't know which game we're playing yet, but I'm still have a couple ideas on which ones I want to do. But if you want to see me get scared, because I actually do scare a tad bit easy, come join us there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I have everything posted in the Discord too about it, and we have Halloween game suggestions there if you want to suggest your own Halloween game. For the entire month of October, we're going to be doing these Halloween scary game streams. So, hopefully I'll see you guys there. Anyways, without yapping any further, I will see you all in the next video. Later.